COVID-19 vaccination is an important part. Help everyone stay safe as we continue to fight the spread. And we can protect those most vulnerable around us. With easy access to vaccination locations and the growing ability for more people to be protected, it's our best shot to keep moving forward. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community. For more information, visit miamidade.gov/vaccine.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's 11 a.m., which means it's time for the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM, where we present live weekly performances in the WDNA Jazz Gallery and feature students, faculty, and alumni from Florida International University School of Music. I am your host and FIU faculty, Dr. Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer, Dr. Karen Velaz, we'd like to welcome you to the performance of our semester. Whether you're listening to us at home, in your car, or live on wdna.org/FIU, we are delighted to have you with us. Today, we are pleased to feature 4 FIU Voice alumni, sopranos Mary Espinoza and Anjani Gawar, mezzo-soprano Shannon Nolan Gundry, and tenor Edgar Miguel Abreu. These 4 talented singers will be accompanied on piano by Dr. Vindhya Kare, FIU's coordinator of vocal performance. They will be presenting a selection of both classical and contemporary repertoire. Our first singer is Mary Espinoza. Mary was born and raised in Miami, Florida, and developed a passion for performance in elementary school. She is now a seasoned performer, having performed with the MSC Cruise Line on their Asian tour. She is also an actress and avid performer in the South Florida theater circuit and a graduate with her Bachelor's of Music in Vocal Performance from Florida International University. Mary is the creative director of the Enchanted Rose Incorporated, which offers high-quality children's entertainment for parties and high-profile events. She also works as a freelance singer for weddings and other events. And Mary's first piece is going to be I Could Have Danced All Night from My Fair Lady.
Strong.
That is a beautiful instrument you have there.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Why don't you tell us a little bit, how did you develop your passion for voice?
I kind of stumbled upon it actually in elementary school. I was singing something in our music class, and our choir director happened to think I had a nice voice, so he was like, "Oh, why don't you join the choir?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, that sounds kind of nerdy, and then I fell in love with choir. And from then on, I joined different magnet programs like South Miami Middle School and Coral Reef Senior High. And I studied close with Mr. Rose, who's like a renowned choir director in South Florida, and I just haven't stopped singing since.
Fantastic. And your time you spent at FIU, how would you say that assisted you in your career?
Wow, I mean, what to say? I wouldn't be where I am today without the professors that I studied with, like Dr. Vindia Kare at FIU, and they just provided me with the tools that I would need in the real world to be prepared fully to perform like I did with MSC Cruises. That came in handy, all the tools that they gave me at the school to perform with them.
Okay, and where could our listeners hear you perform now?
I'm actually going to be doing a show at Pembroke Pine Theater of the Performing Arts. We're doing a production of Something Rotten, which is kind of like a meta musical, a musical within a musical. Mm-hmm. And it will be premiering at the end of March till the first week of April.
Fantastic, at Pembroke Pines. And you're going to be performing another piece for us now, which is from the great Cuban composer Ernesto Lecuona. And my Spanish is not so good, so perhaps you would like to introduce it.
No, you sound great. You sound great.
So it's Se abrieron las flores.
Se abrieron las flores.
See, there you go.
Se
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next guest is Dominican-American tenor Edgar Miguel Abreu. Edgar has appeared numerous times on stage throughout Florida since 2012, most recently as the tenor soloist in Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. He also has numerous opera and musical theater credits. On the concert stage, Mr. Abreu has performed in Beethoven's Choral Festival, Handel's Messiah, Gounod's St. Cecilia Mass, Mozart's Missa Solemnis, and Castelnuovo Tedesco's Romancero Gitano, and as the shepherd in Ottorino Respighi's Lauda per la Natività del Signore. He is currently a voice instructor for the University of Miami Theater Department and holds a bachelor and master's degree in music in vocal performance from FIU. And I believe the first piece Edgar is going to be performing for us is Te Quiero Dijiste from Maria Grever. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So, Edgar, can you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you get involved in music and singing?
Absolutely. When I was 10 years old, I had a cousin who played music in a band, and I wanted to learn how to play the piano. So I asked my parents, and I remember doing a talent show in 8th grade after a few years of piano playing, and I did this whole arrangement of piano music, and I won the talent show. And I was so excited by the applause that I guess I came to music for the applause. Then I went to college as a piano performance major, was put in chorus, men's chorus at FIU in Boca Raton, and I fell in love with singing and later switched, and then everything has been singing ever since.
Amazing.
Yes.
Fantastic. And your time, because you did your bachelor's and your master's at FIU. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
So, just to clarify, my bachelor's was at FAU in Boca Raton, and my master's was at FIU.
Okay.
However, FIU changed my perspective on everything. I left music after my undergrad not as enthralled and as excited, and FIU brought me back, made me love music, made me love choir again, and gave me my first operatic performances and everything, and it was so exciting to be part of that and nurturing, and I love all my professors. I had absolutely the best time in academia at FIU.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And do you have any upcoming performances? I'm sure our listeners would love to hear about that.
Well, yes, there will be a live stream of that. I'm actually going to Elsa, Illinois, the week of February 14th. And I'll be doing master classes at Principia College and doing a concert of all Spanish music on Friday, February 18th.
Wonderful. And I believe the next piece you are going to sing for us is Ave Maria.
Yes, this is Ave Maria by William Gomez. He composed it the last year of his death in 2000, and it premiered the day after he passed away.
Wow. You're listening to the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM with FIU Voice Alumni. We'll be right back after these messages. This week, the FIU School of Music will be hosting the following concerts. As part of the New Music Miami ISCM Festival 2022, on February 2nd, FIU Alumni Composers Concert at the Wilsonian, which is free admission. 7 p.m. pre-concert talk and 7:30 p.m. live performance. Celebrate Panther Alumni Week with us. FIU's professional contemporary chamber music ensemble, FIU Notice Ensemble, performs works by alumni award-winning composers. Saturday, September 5th. Let me try that one more time. How about February 5th? I got it now. Saturday, February 5th at 2 p.m. Master classes, clinics at Wertheim Concert Hall. The FIU School of Music is excited to welcome returning concert pianist Gregorius Zampares for a master class in the Wertheim Concert Hall. Zampares has received critical acclaim for his versatile performing career as recitalist, orchestra soloist, and chamber musician. He is a frequent guest at numerous festivals worldwide and has been featured as a soloist on piano concertos with international orchestras. Gregorios is a professor of music and head of the piano program at the University of Tampa, Florida. He began studying music at the age of 7 in Greece, where he received his first piano degree from the Lamia Conservatory in 1995. He holds a DMA degree from the University of Miami and degrees from Indiana University, University of Indianapolis, and the Aristotle University of Thessalonica, Greece. His recordings have been released by Centaur Records. Sunday, February 6th at 3 p.m., Spring 2022 performance guest artist recital by Dr. Gregorius Zampares, piano at Wertheim Concert Hall. The FIU School of Music is excited to welcome returning concert pianist Gregorius Zampares for a performance featuring works by Chopin and Beethoven, in addition to 2 works by Greek composers Yannis Konstantinidis and Maros Hagidakis. On Monday, February 7th at 12 p.m., MIGF 2022 Concert Artist Performance Competition registration for the 7th Miami International Git Art Festival 2022. The Miami International Git Art Festival presents the 2022 Virtual Concert Artist Performance Competition for solo classical guitar. The competition, awarding of $15,000 in prizes, is open to guitarists of all ages and nationalities and will run in 3 rounds, beginning with the preliminary round video submissions, then semifinal and final round submissions concurrently, running with the festival from February 19th through the 27th, 2022. The registration fee is $100. For complete submission guidelines, see migf.fiu.edu. For these and many more exciting events, you can find information at fiu.universitytickets.com or musictix, that's T-I-X, at fiu.edu. And now back to our show with FIU vocal alumni. Our next guest is Shanna Nolan Gundry. She is a New Jersey native and has graced stages across the world. From Lincoln Center to the State Theater of South Africa, Shanna has breathed life into a wide variety of roles and parts. Her favorites include Dorothée in Cendrillon as the mezzo soloist in Handel's Messiah, Louisa in The Fantastics, and yodeling her way through Buddy Holly. Shanna performs frequently with the Florida Grand Opera, Palm Beach Opera, Orchestra Miami, Opera Fusion, and Magic City Opera. She will be singing with Opera Fusion again in the Strong Song, or Song Strong series, I should say, Gianna Schicchi and The Medium. Shanna is also thrilled to have escaped her house, however briefly, to make music with us here. And I believe you are going to be singing Voi che sapete from La Nozze di Figaro.
Sia
Wonderful. Shannon, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you get started in music and with singing and everything? And I think we have that microphone over there for you, if you don't mind.
Well, I grew up mostly in New Jersey. My father's family is from Ireland, so I grew up in that musical tradition. There's a lot of good Irish fight songs that I know. And my mother's family is originally from Tennessee and Appalachia, and I grew up in the country music tradition. And there is a country music legend in my family. Jimmy Rogers was my great-grandmother's cousin. And I grew up listening a lot of country music and a lot of Irish music, but I fell in love with classical music when I was in elementary school, and any chance that I got to make music, I took. I wanted to sing. My parents said that they didn't have time to take me, so I said, okay, I guess I'll learn how to play trombone.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much been the story of my life. Any chance that I get, I take to make music.
So are you performing on trombone as well?
I have performed on trombone as a professional. I pretty much stopped when I was in high school because I had enough performing opportunities as a singer. But when I did do Buddy Holly, in addition to singing, I played in the band with far better musicians than myself.
I would have loved to have seen that.
It was fun.
Tell us about your time at FIU.
Oh, FIU is, I had just moved down to South Florida, and I was actually getting ready to go to University of Miami, and my teacher left, and he said, hey, why don't you check out FIU? There's some really fantastic teachers there, and I'm not from here. And I was like, okay, what's that? And I did. I went to a recital the very next week, and I heard my now dear friend Teresa sing. She was in Dr. Wilson's studio, and I was like, how did I not know about this place? And I think that's probably what most people would think. It's such a gem.
Fantastic.
In South Florida.
And where could our listeners hear you perform next?
Well, this season it's a big recording season because of COVID, but I will be performing at Palm Beach Opera in The Merry Widow. I believe it's in March.
Wonderful. And speaking of performing, you're going to perform for us now Handel's Hence, Iris, Hence Away.
From
Fantastic. Thank you, Shanna. Thank you. Our fourth performer is Anjani Giwar. Anjani is currently in her 7th year as a musical theater voice instructor at the University of Miami. She is the creator of Music That Moves, yoga designed specifically for singers and music teachers. She has spent time in the Venetian Alps of Italy teaching voice and yoga to UM's theater students. She recently starred in A Night of Disney at the New Westchester Performing Arts Center and has also appeared on Magic City Opera's stage as Gretel in the production of Hansel and Gretel. She is an active coffeehouse performer for the Broward Performing Arts Center and throughout Miami with her husband, Eric Firestone. She has also performed in concerts with Andrea Bocelli and under the baton of Itzhak Perlman with the Master Chorale of South Florida. And she will be performing for us The Light in the Piazza. Fantastic. Anjani, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, your background, how did you get involved with music? And we have a microphone there for you.
Awesome. So I am from Miami, and I got involved in music because I actually started out in choir when I was younger. I wanted to be a choral director. And that's what I went to FIU for. I went for a music education, and I accidentally fell in love with musical theater.
Okay. Fantastic. And so, at FIU, besides the choir, what else were you doing there?
So I was studying opera. I have my master's there also in vocal performance.
Wonderful.
And I truly believe that with all the things I learned about performing and technique and performance practice, really, I was able to transfer that knowledge over into my musical theater training as well. And that was very, very, very beneficial.
Lovely. And so you've been doing yoga and music. Tell us a little about that.
So I also accidentally got into yoga as well as a summer thing to keep myself busy one summer. And when I started, I realized there was such an importance of connecting the mind, the body, and the breath. And those are the exact same principles in singing as well. So once I found yoga, that helped me so much in my singing and really to combine all three of those aspects.
All right, very interesting. Where could our listeners hear you perform next?
I am currently working with Loxon Productions, and we are doing a Night of Disney at the Disney Cabaret that you mentioned earlier, and we're hoping to bring that back. We just closed in December, our run, but we're hoping to bring that back throughout Miami. So stay tuned for something like that.
Wonderful. And speaking of staying tuned, you are now going to perform a piece by Stephen Sondheim, On the Steps of the Palace from Into the Woods. Thank you, Anjani.
Thank you.
I would like to take a moment to speak with the professor, Dr. Vindhya Kare. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How long have you been teaching at FIU, and how do you find such talented singers?
Oh my gosh, okay, so I started at FIU 10 years ago as a student in the master's program for vocal performance, and I just completed my 5th year as area coordinator of the vocal performance area, and oh my gosh, FIU just attracts amazing talent, as you can hear.
And what do you look for in a singer when they audition at FIU?
Well, any music program that is, and keep in mind that FIU is a Research One institution, so it's not just showing up to sing. There is so much involved in it. It's a very rigorous program. So we're looking for students who have strong academics. We often ask for writing samples, and of course they have to have the musicianship and talent.
Okay. And so, if you were to speak with a promising singer, how would you get them to best be prepared for a musical career, a musical singing career?
Okay, well, we would have a heart-to-heart and figure out if they have the self-discipline and if they really love it enough to devote countless hours to their art. And sometimes it's very lonely hours, but if they really truly have that passion and the talent and the discipline and the love of sharing their voice and being the storyteller through song, then they would be wonderful performers.
Lovely. Speaking of which, we have time for maybe 1, maybe 2 more performances. Who would we be hearing next?
I think why don't we end with Edgar Abreu. If he would come on out and join us. If this is our last piece, I think we should hear Granada.
All right. So Edgar, if you are in the house, there he is. So we are hearing Granada. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
Granada, tierra soñada por mí.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the FIU Voice alumni Mary Espinoza, Anjane Gawar, Shannon Nolan Gundry, and Edgar Miguel Abreu, accompanied by FIU's coordinator of vocal performance, Dr. Vindhya Kare, on the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM. I've been your faculty host, Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer, Karen Velaz, we'd like to thank our production crew, FIU grad students Najee McLean and Samantha Stern, WDNA's wizard, Alex Aldrich on sound and tech, and the staff of WDNA 88.9 FM for today's broadcast. If you'd like more information on all our programs, make sure to call 305-384-2896 or simply like our Facebook page to stay up to date with all our upcoming performances. Thank you so much for joining us, and make sure to join the FIU Music Hour for more great music every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to noon. Next week will be the FIU jazz vocalist, Lisanne Lyons, accompanied by myself, actually. And I think we have just enough time for one last song. If Shannon will come out, and what piece are you going to be singing for us?
I'm going to be singing Stay With Me from the musical Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim. It's a Sondheim kind of day.
Fantastic.
What did I clearly say? Children must listen. What were you not to do? Children must see and learn. Why could you not obey? Children must listen. What have I been to you? What would you have me be? Handsome like a prince. Ah, but I am old, I am ugly, I embarrass you. You are ashamed of me. You are ashamed. You don't understand. Don't you know what's out there in the world? Someone has to shield you from the world. Stay with me. Princes wait there in the world, it's true. Princes, yes, but boys and humans too. Stay at home. I am old. Oh, I could love you more than what a man that I cannot supply. Stay with me. Stay with me. The world is dark and wide. Stay, my child, when you can be a
There are a lot of ways to build a strong body. And for the residents of Miami-Dade, getting your COVID-19 vaccination is an important part. Help everyone stay safe as we continue to fight the spread. And we can protect those most vulnerable around us. With easy access to vaccination locations and the growing ability for more people to be protected, it's our best shot to keep moving forward. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community. For more information, visit miamidade.gov/vaccine.